نحمده ونشكره ونستعينه ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا. أما بعد، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Indeed, all the thanks and all the praises are due to Allah the Almighty, who has made it possible for us to be together tonight, this evening, for another lesson on the family hour. And this evening, we shall be talking about the topic Ramadanizing the family. Ramadanizing the family is attempt at bringing the Ramadan values and virtues into the family space. And this is because Ramadan is seasonal. It is something that happens, a time that comes once in a year, just a month in a year. And this time is a period when generally people increase in the level of their consciousness of the Most High, the Great. And with this, we want to look at a nexus between the Ramadan period, the Ramadanic experience, and the family values. Of course, family values is exposed to the family being together, and this, that there is a nexus, there is a connection between what the family stand for, and or what the family should stand for, and what the Ramadan represents. But first and foremost, let us start with what exactly is the purpose of Ramadan? Why do we fast in the month of Ramadan? And then we try to juxtapose that with the purpose of the family. The purpose of Ramadan is to galvanize us spiritually, to make us to be aware, to be spiritually aware, a period of spiritual enlightenment. And that is pointed out in Quran chapter 2, verse 183, that Ramadan, لَعَلَّكُمْ تَتَّقُونَ, Ramadan builds taqwa level. It scales up the taqwa level. So now what then is the purpose of the family? The purpose of the family is to create an environment where you can have peace, you can have support, you can have happiness, you can have increase in taqwa, you can have a place where you can exchange mercy, kindness, and subtlety, a place where you can be softened because of the gentleness that the family provides, the softness that the family provides. And that is why the family is seen as a garment that protects. And in Surah Al-Baqarah 2, Allah the Almighty tells us about the fact that your wives, ahunna libasun lakum wa antum libasun lahun. Your wives are your garment and you are their garment. So which implies that family actually gives us an environment where we can be calm, right? A place of rest, a haven of peace, a sekina. That is what the family provides. So when we look at Ramadan providing a place of taqwa, and the family being the place where the taqwa can be practiced, where the taqwa can be preserved. And of course, the taqwa, the preservation of the taqwa which Ramadan is espoused to, is not to, is not to, you don't practice taqwa in the blues. You don't practice taqwa in the moon. You practice taqwa in an environment. And the best environment where you practice God consciousness is no other than the family. So, which implies that the family values is a place, the family is a place where you have the teachings, the teachings of Ramadan being espoused and being put into consideration. A place where the man, the woman can have a place you can call a place of peace, a place to practice what is going to improve and not decrease. Now, going forward, one of the things that happens as a problem, on this issue of the purpose of Ramadan and the purpose of family is that many people tend to be angelized while the Ramadan is around, because of the fact that, they tend to be closer to the Almighty when Ramadan is around. But soon after Ramadan, the environment of the family returns back to being toxic. After Ramadan might have gone and then Ramadan is over, you see the harshness whereby, okay, so in the month of Ramadan, we have only the time when you have the family being together, the family being away. They want the family, once Ramadan is over, everybody goes back to what is the normal practice, which is of course is not an is a normal it's not a, it's an abnormal situation. So Ramadan is not meant to be an event. Ramadan is cause of Ramadan. In the period of Ramadan, in the family, like I said earlier, Ramadanizing the family makes the family to be a space, a place, a haven where all the virtues of Ramadan can be emplaced. So Ramadan teaches mercy, but the family provides a place where mercy can be practiced. Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us that anybody that fasts and the fasting in the month of Ramadan does not make him to be away from, a vain talk, a vile statement, bad words. Then the fasting that the person fasts is of no use. Allah is not interested in that person's fasting because you say so many nasty things at people, yet you say you're still fasting. So there is no point for that fasting. So the Ramadan fasting in the month of Ramadan teaches that we should show mercy to other people, because if we show mercy to other people, Allah the Almighty will show mercy to us too. So the family provides a place, at least the start of point, the primary place, the foundational platform where the mercy that we have learned in this period will be put into practice. So Ramadan is not just a period of hunger, but it is a period of character reformation. And when your character is reformed, the best place you can put this into practice is no other than the family itself. So Ramadan fast provides a state, a haven, a platform where the family provides a platform where every teaching of Ramadan can be practiced. So, but there's an irony here, and I need to point this out because, like I mentioned earlier, so many people in the month of Ramadan they become angelized, they become like, wow, these guys can be like this. But soon after the month of Ramadan, they become something else. But even in the month of Ramadan, there are people that they don't they have not been able to internalize the teachings of Ramadan. For example, when they are in the masjid, they practice, they see them being religious. The guy is so religious. But soon after leaving the masjid, going back home, they are harsh. That is to say, at home, they are harsh to their family, they shout at their wives, they scream at their children, but in the masjid, they just goes gently. They want to just behave like, somebody that is gentle, but they have not been able to carry home the virtues or the teachings that they have learned outside as far as Ramadan is concerned. They've not been able to bring it back home, and this is actually not good. In the masjid, they smile at everybody. How are you? Ya akhi, brother, how are you? But when they get back home, they don't greet their family, they don't greet their children, they don't greet their wives, and that is the way they live their life. So they present two faces here: a face in the masjid, presenting a toga of religiosity, but in the house, it presents the toga of someone that is bereft of anything spiritual. So now, when we Ramadanize the family here, now we're talking about that space in the masjid, that character in the masjid, that behavior in the masjid where you try to, you greet people with courtesy, you treat everybody well, you share your debedu and others like that. You want to bring it back home. You're Ramadanizing the family, and you Ramadanize the family where, yeah, you don't bring sarcasm at home in the name of you want to discipline everybody, you want to just frown your face and everybody disappears when you enter because daddy wants to have iftar. Nobody says that with daddy, then you are not Ramadanizing the family. Or in a home whereby, in the masjid you're so nice to people, when you get back home, then you speak, harshly to your family members, you shout at your wife or children, or shout at your husband and you nag at him, then you have not been able to Ramadanize the family in this regard. So now the question we want to ask ourselves, still on this point, is that How do you behave? Ramadan comes, Ramadan goes. The family virtues must remain when we are able to Ramadanize the family. How do you behave in Ramadan in the masjid? And how do you behave in Ramadan at home? Or how do you behave both in the masjid and at home in the period of Ramadan? And how do you behave after the month of Ramadan might have been over? Now Ramadan is over. Now people want to see your red eye. You know, when I go see my red eye because Ramadan is over, no, then we have not been able to Ramadanize the family. So we need to bring all these virtues, these teachings back home because Ramadan is so important. So we must bring this importance and forget you through the month of Ramadan. But the family is the place to start the lesson of forgiveness. For example, we beg Allah, Allahumma innaka afuwun tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anni. Oh Allah, you are the pardoner. You love the people pardon themselves. Oh Allah, pardon my fault. Yes, you pray Allah to pardon your fault in the month of Ramadan. But the question I want to ask you is to what extent have you been able to pardon the fault in the family while the Ramadan lasts and even after the month of Ramadan? So why do we have situation, whether in the month of Ramadan, even post Ramadan, a situation where spouses keep emotional distancing? They are distant from themselves and they try to stay away from themselves. Why do we have instances where parents will shout at their children and learn not to forgive other people's mistakes? Ramadan is there or post Ramadan, they don't see themselves having this. Why do we have husband and wife or even friends and siblings bearing grudge at themselves, while Ramadan is there, even post Ramadan? So when we are able to Ramadanize the family, and I want to mention something very quickly here, very important, that the month of Ramadan is a month of barakah. The month, toward the last part of Ramadan, we have the period of Laylatul Qadr. So we have the period of Laylatul Qadr where the blessings and the rahmah of Allah will descend. Okay, fine. Did you know that amongst the people that will not be sharers of this barakah, of this blessing, will be the person who bear grudges, keeps malice with other people, while Ramadan is there, and these people will be bereft and be denied of the barakah of the blessings of the month of Ramadan. So if you are that is someone you keep malice with, and you still sustain this malice even in the month of Ramadan, it will be said to you or your family, leave this family alone because they have not been able to settle themselves. Allahu Akbar. So the angels will not share the barakah during the night of majesty, Laylatul Qadr, with the family. How do you feel this way? So we want to Ramadanize the family when we don't sleep with unresolved issues. When we try to sort out issues, we ask questions, what really happened, and we're willing to apologize. Child, your son, your daughter, your young girl wants a home. Oh, guy, I'm sorry, I don't intend to do that. It's not willful. It doesn't take anything out of you. You're still the same you, man. It's still the same you. So Ramadanizing the family means that we're able to forgive other people's faults and we're able to pardon other people's faults even when we are right and they are wrong. So we want to Ramadanize the family by bringing the mercy of the blessings of forgiveness, which is fundamental to Ramadan. We want to bring it into the family space, even post Ramadan period, where we're able to practice the art of forgiveness post Ramadan and even in the month of Ramadan. Furthermore, Ramadanizing the family is something that is key here by bringing in the togetherness of the Ramadan into the family space. Ramadan teaches togetherness, and we want to bring this into the family presence. For example, we do sahur together, we do iftar together, we do tarawih together, we make dua together, we observe the hajj together, we do so many things together. This togetherness permeates the space, in the family, and you could read the spiritual rhythm in the space, and everybody is happy. Now, outside Ramadan, many families live parallel lives. Parallel lives in the sense that father is always glued to his computer. Business must go. Oh, he's always busy with his phone. I must chat with my friends. But he doesn't have time for the wife. He doesn't have time for the children. There is no time to talk together. There is no time to share moments together. Then this is not good. Because so we want to Ramadanize the family when you limit the time, your attention you pay as a father to your phone. Or the mother is exhausted with the hustle and bustling, and to just get back home, scream at everybody. Nobody should enter my room or I go shout out for you. Hey, it's not good here, man. It's not good here. So we want to, scale it down by focusing more on how do we get together in the month of Ramadan and how do we place this even post Ramadan. How do we get a situation whereby the children are not always busy with TV? And I know some families from AM, as in from the daybreak till the light out in the night, the TV in the house is on. I mean, it doesn't help anybody here. So first and foremost place where we can practice generosity, where we're able to, share things together. And furthermore, the family could be a place where we teach ourselves on how to show kindness and generosity to ourselves. In the month of Ramadan, we should be able to learn to be generous. So in the month of Ramadan, we should teach ourselves, teach our children to give charity. Now with this, we're not only doing it as a person alone, you're also teaching other members of the family to give charity to people in the masjid or the poor ones in the month of Ramadan. So we're able to learn, with the virtues of from the virtues of Ramadan to Ramadan period. You will recall Ramadan that is a kind of a spiritual atmosphere that dominates the warp of the wolf of the family. This has to be sustained, and that is the only way we can Ramadanize our family post Ramadan period. Now, for example, you see some people they build homes that are very sprawling residents, very nice buildings, but these homes they don't have a place for spirituality. And for example, I've discovered with some of my senior colleagues, if you enter some of the living rooms, you have the dining area. Oh no, you have the bar. Yes, that's the bar area. You have the dining area, but where is the dhikr area? We have the sitting area, we have the dining area, we have the bar, but no circle, no study circle, no area for salat, or not really masjid, but this is the corner where we do dhikr in our home. There's no such corner. So Ramadanizing the family means bringing that space. I mean, you don't drink wine, you don't drink alcohol. Why would you dedicate time to have the bar corner? Bar corner, what are you buying? You're not serving alcohol. So better do that by converting the bar corner, the dining area, to dhikr area, a place where we can remember Allah together. And this we can practice in the month of Ramadan. We have a corner where the family sit down, the father, the mother, the children, we sit down together and then we share thoughts thoughts on the Quran in this corner. And after the corner, we go back to the living area, we relax a bit before everybody goes back to bed. And this is practicable. So we can Ramadanize our family by bringing a space at home. Many people do not have a space in their living room where they have to get together. Many families don't have it. I want to see us Ramadanizing our families by bringing this kind of a place, in our homes. You know what? The remembrance of Allah gives us rest. And when you practice this at home, you practice dhikr at home, your homes become heaven of peace and rest. Not only for you, but for all those who come visit your family. So we want to have a home where Quran is heard and recited often, where discussion on the deen, on Allah is being constant, where Allah's name is being mentioned. This is where we have spirituality, where we have a home being the haven of spirituality, not only when you are in the masjid. And I know of brothers who have said on and post Ramadan, like I said, I'm going to stop here tonight. And the reason I'm stopping here tonight is because I have another lecture right now, and I want to use this to wrap up, because we need to understand that this Sunday is the Sunday before the Ramadan starts. So I want to advise that in the month of Ramadan, we will shift the timing from 7 o'clock, which we have right now, to 9:30. And our lesson in the month of Ramadan is going to be only 30 minutes. It's going to be 30 minutes in Ramadan, throughout Ramadan, Saturday and Sunday, 9:30 on Saturday and 9:30 on Sunday. For the regions of the other part of the world, those of us who are connecting from other part of Africa or even outside Africa, we can just look at the local timing in West African sub-region so that we can look at the 9:30. So it's going to be for 30 minutes, and that's because it's going to give us more time to focus on other ibadat and activities post Ramadan. So it's going to be 9:30 on Saturday from next Saturday, and then 9:30 on Sunday, inshallah. Allahumma ballighna Ramadan. واغفر ذنوبنا جميعا وارحمنا انك انت الغفور الرحيم وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد وعلى اله وصحبه وسلم تسليما. Before we wrap up the night, I want to go through some of the messages that we have. Okay, I'm having Brother Charles, peace be unto you, peace be unto you too. Okay, this is Haja Zainab, my wife, may Allah bless you, Jazakumullah khair. Um, okay, someone is asking a question. Excuse me, somebody is asking me whether I ate fufu. Yes, now, I know that you choose to eat fufu. Okay, yes, I do. Thank you, my brother. We have Abdulghani Ajadi, Salaam alaikum, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. All right, we're going to start here tonight. Jazakumullah khair jaza. May Allah bless and reward you. I wish to see you in the month of Ramadan on Saturday during the 5th hour and on Sunday during the family hour. May Allah bless you and reward you abundantly. I remain yours, Dr. Gidado Tawfiq Mikdad. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.